Welcome with you guys. Today we're going to talk about CSS3. It stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Well, this is a very beginner course and you will just need HTML5 as prerequisites because we're just going to use it a lot in this course. This course is very basic. It is going to show you the very basics of CSS3 and the styling of a web page. The next course about CSS3 it will go to some advanced CSS3. So if you're a beginner, without further ado, dive into it. Uno, dos, and tres, and intro. Good. Alright you guys, so right now I'm going to show you how to install Visual Studio Code. Let's just open our Google, type Visual Studio Code and click it. You will have the appropriate version for your OS displayed in here. Download it if you don't see it. If you just don't see your version of the OS, go to download up there and search for your version. Okay, so let's open Visual Studio Code. That's the main screen. Let's just go install some extensions. I'm going to start with live server. Okay, you have all of these extensions in here. These will make your work easier, and let's just get live server done. Okay, just install it. I explained what this extension does the last time, so let's just install it and install HTML and CSS support. This will help us a lot. Okay, and the CSS peak, this will help us just see the classes and some other stuff from the HTML page. It will make our work easier. Let's just install it. Okay, right now let's open a folder to work on. Let's just make a new folder. Name it CSS Crash Course. And select it. So that's it. Okay, you guys, so right now I'm going to show you how will you import a CSS document into your HTML and apply the styling into your HTML file. So first you need to create a file named style and .css, and it must end with the extension of CSS. Okay, let's just paste this style. You don't need to know anything about this. I will explain it later, and try to bring it into our HTML. So let's do link, and as you can see, I have the autocomplete and it did well. Style sheet, so it's like telling the HTML and the browser that this is going to be a style sheet, and href is the link and the way to this style. So you can type dot and slash, and you will have all of the files in this folder listed down below. So I'm going to put href.style.css and save. As you can see, I always like live server, so you can see that it runs. That's one of the first way. So let's try the second way. So let's delete this save and go back to ground zero, I mean. So let's add a tag called style, and inside of this tag I'm going to just paste what I have already written in the previous HTML and save. As you can see, writing in the style tag will just bring the HTML stuff into here. and this is way better. If you just don't need to use the style in multiple pages. The third one is just going in here. Let's just delete those so it has no reference. It will be good. So right here, I'm going to show you the third way. The third way is the inline way. Uh, so we did the internal one and the external one. Now it's only the internal, the inline type left. So I will just write style as an attribute and paste the style of this one. Okay, so we will just fix it. Good. Okay, that's good. Once we save, as you can see, the background has changed. Let's do the same for our H1. Copy, cut, and just bring style in here and paste it. Well, it just broke the line. It's no big deal. We can just bring it like this. Since it's a line, I'd like to make just one line and avoid breaking lines. So let's just say we have saved, and as you can see, the header has changed. So let's jump to the next. Alright, you guys, right now we are going to talk about colors. Well, let's just prepare an HTML template to explain it. Let's just have this H1 3 times or 4. Yes, that's good. Okay, so we have 3 ways to make colors. Oh, sorry, let's just save this. Yeah, well, the first way we have is like, let's just in all of them add a style and add a background color. And when we use RGB, it means for red, green, and blue values. So it will just take the 3 informations of the color red and the green and the blue, and it will simply show you the results. So we have red, let's make 256, green, let's make 0, and blue, let's make 0. Well, as you can see, they are all red. So the first thing to do is just make the red in here 0 and make it in here 256. So it will be fully green. The third one is, let's just make the red and the green 0 and make the blue 256 and save. As you can see, we have a blue color. So this 3 data, this takes the red and this takes the green and this takes the blue. So how will this be useful for your web development? So say that you need a color. Let's use then the third one. Let's use 1080. You need it somehow close to the red and the green, but not really close to the blue. Let's say Venti that. Here we have some kind of yellow. I don't know what exactly is this color, but you can mix colors and get new colors out of it. Also, we have another option. It's called, let me just delete all of these. Good. Let's just delete them all. And okay, seems that I only have one left in here. Let's try the RGBA. RGBA. As you can see, we have the green, the blue, and we have also another place. We have the alpha. The alpha stands for the opacity. Well, you guys, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see all of it. Or let's just do it like this. Anyway, let's just keep going. Since we have the red as, let's make 256 and no green 0 and no blue 0 and save. You can see that we have nothing because the alpha is also required into this. Let's just delete it and make 0. As you can see, it's still nothing. Let's just make it 1 As you can see, it's all ones. So let's just decrease them one by one. Let's make the first one 0.8. As you can see, the red in here is a little less red than the one before it. Well, you can see a lot of difference until I do the 0.6. As you can see, it's getting less and less red each time. Let's try right now the 0.4 and save. As you can see, that's the opacity and the appearance. It's on from 0 to 1. The more it gets closer to 0, the more it will be transparent. The more it will be closer to 1, it will be solid. So let's, for the sake of this tutorial, let's make the 0.2. As you can see, it's getting less and less red. Let's try 0.1 and let's try 0.005. As you can see, it does not exist like this. Well, let's try like this. 0.05, 0.01. Let's try 0.001. As you can see, it's barely in there. We can't even see it with our own eyes. Anyway, let's just move on to the next one. Alright, so we have brought these together like RGBA. Let's try another way of making colors. Well, we must use the hash symbol. And after this, we use hexadecimal numbers. We can use them between the 0 and 256. If you are not a CS engineer, don't bother about this. Just go into Google and look for hex colors, and you can just have it in here. You will have the RGB colors, you will have the HSL. You don't really need those these. You will have the hex code. As you can see, just you can scroll and add any color you want. You don't have to learn how these work if you can see it anytime you need it. Even if you learn it, you're not going to do anything with it. Let's try the FF5. Oh, sorry. Nope. Cancel. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the difference. Make back to the US English. FF5599. Alright, so what colors are we going to have? Good. Let's make this FF like 00. Yes, we have new colors. Let's make this like 9 different color. This one as 1, another different color, and this one as A. And we will also have a different color. Alright guys, this is all about the colors. I hope you got it. Let's pass to the next thing. Okay, you guys, so right now I'm going to show you how to use selectors. Alright, right now I'm going like to just bring it to the base like it was before. Yes, let's have a list. Let's import our CSS in here. We have a class of list. We have an ID of list item 1. Let me just fix those two. Yeah, 2 and 4. Well, right now we are going to see how do we select certain items in the DOM. So just before we start this course, this section I explained what's the DOM, and right now I am going to show you how do we access them. So first and foremost, we will have an option. Since we want to select an item, first we have the list. So let's just make the list and like this, color green. Okay, as you can see, we have no difference in here. It was just the previous ones were applied, that's why they were green, but never mind about this. As you can see, there is no difference. There is no green. So why the class didn't change color? That's the whole point. When we select a class, we use the dot before we write its name and then save, and you can see that it's all green. So let's just delete the class and stop the selection. Okay, say that we want to select only this item with this ID. Well, let's try to do it. Paste, make the color green as always. Okay, it doesn't work. Well, we have another option in the IDs as well. We use the hash symbol. Alright, save, and you can see that we have it green in here. Alright, so right now there is something else. I want to select the unorganized list with the class list. How do I do this? Alright, so let me explain this. We are going to write UL, simply like selecting uh, every item of as an HTML tag. Alright, UL dot list. And not, if I leave a space, it's going to tell it to choose the child after you with the class of list. But if I leave no space, it will tell it to select only the ULs with the class of list. So where is this going to apply here? Let's just apply this as list one and save. And you wait, I didn't save the CSS. Good. As you can see, we only have the first part. So that's the UL with the class of list. But that's the UL with the class of list one. So if we just delete the list, the one in here, we will have it green as well. Well, this one might be better. Alright, so the next thing is going to be the ID. I've done the ID. Yes, the I streak. Let's delete everything in here, or let's just delete this one and see on who it applies. If you just leave it like this, it will apply on nothing. But if I use the asterisk symbol, it will just, everything will become green. So if the asterisk stands for every element in the DOM, so if you have anything and apply this asterisk, it will just become like green, but it has the lowest priority. As I have already shown you, we are going right now to see the direct child. So let's add an A in here, a tag. All right, A. Yeah, like this. So let's say I want to select this li, but we have it inside of the A tag. All right. I want to select the child of the UL, which is the li. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just write UL and then li, like this, and save, and there will be no difference. Let me just delete it, save. See the difference? Okay, what's wrong? Save. Alright, nothing in here is, only this hello is in this color. Okay, we have the UL li. So everything became green again. Why is that? Okay, you can see that we have the UL and we have the li childs, li, and here another UL with the two li's. And it has selected all of these and made the color red. But we want only to have the direct child, so if this one is not, if this li is not just after the UL in the DOM tree, I don't want to have it. So I want to have the direct child of the UL. So I will simply take the space, change it to the bigger than sign, and simply like always save. Alright, let's just leave a single space. As you can see, it became no longer green, because if we select just the direct child, it won't select anyone in between those. But when we don't select the direct child, it will choose every UL, even if it's a grandchild like in here after the U, which has an li. So that's it for the selectors. And there is one more thing. If you want to select two things like let's say ul and li, if you want to select two stuff, you just use this comma in here, and that's it for selections. Let's pass to the next thing. Alright, you guys, right now I'm going to show you the import function. So let's just open uh, Visual Studio Code and start typing. Well, what's wrong now? Yeah, it's set to French. Use English. Alright, just use this sign and write import. And after you write import, you will have to specify the URL. As you can see, this one is the same as linking the URL of CSS or anything in here. So it will be easier to include everything into a CSS file. Uh, Mute the phone, that's good. Let's just try, no, let's go and look for a font theme. Well, as you see, I'm in fontsgoogle.com, where you find wherever font you like, and as you can see the difference in text. Use anyone you would like to. So I want to use this one. Let's just try add this add button, and let me just remove this value too. I used this in previously. So let's just import this URL. Copy and let's paste in here. Save. And as you can see here, it shows you how to use it too. So let's just copy it and bring it into here, into our style. As you can see, I've already tried this in here. Let's just delete it. So we want to use our font, just write style and paste it in here. As you can see, the CSS keywords are fonts family, and this also specifies which font I want to use. So let's go into here. As you can see, this is the previous font I was using just a moment ago. Let's save and see the difference. No. Save. As you can see, it became so different. So in fonts, we can import them and use them simply. And with importing, we can even import CSS files and more about this. So don't worry about importing everything into here. Just don't import JavaScript files in here. It won't be a good practice, and it won't work too. So let's just jump into the next. Alright, you guys, so right now I'm going to learn you something new. Well, you just go in here. What we are going to learn right now is IDs and classes. So what's the difference between an ID and a class? As we have already seen here before, let's try, we can't get it back, so let's just make a new class and a new ID. Well, we have list as a class and list item as an ID. Well, list. And as I told you, to select classes, we must use the dot. Let's just use color. Alright. And I will use this one, use the hash symbol. And to select the ID, well, let's just select it and use color, or I mean, first border bottom. Alright, so as you can see, we use a list for too many items, as you may say. If we go, for example, to any website, let's for example go to Amazon, you can see here that the we are going to apply the class stuff to so many objects, like this object, this div inside of here, and also this div too, and this div as well. But on the other hand, the ID is going to be used for one single thing to be designed or to be modified. It's like, let's find one single thing, like this, like the sidebar. It has a single ID, or it has its specific style, and it won't be used anywhere else. So you guys, that's the difference between IDs and uh, classes. So I hope you got it. If you don't, just put something in the comments and I'll respond to you. Alright you guys, so right now I am going to show you what is the CSS box model. So let's just open my Visual Studio Code. As you can see, in here we have cleared the previous stuff. We just left the body clear. So all HTML elements can be considered as boxes. Inside of the CSS in here, the term box model is used when we're talking about design and layout. So let me show you an example. If we just go and open my portfolio. Yes, I look scary in here. All right. So what I'm trying to say, if we take this, or if we take this tool and start hovering, you can see that these are all boxes. As you can see, this one is a box, and this one is a bigger box. This one is a bigger box which contains small, for two small boxes. I can't select this one but if I go into here, I really can select. Like you can see, once I hover on it, I can simply select it. Well, so these are mostly boxes. So this is another box of the picture which shows my project. Even down here, everything is boxes. Once I hover, you only see boxes. Even the pictures. So, and as you can see in here, let's select something. Let's select like this one. Yeah, as you can see, it has the internal stuff, which is the one where I'm hovering with my mouse. And it has the padding. The padding I will show you in a minute, and it has a border too, and it has a margin. This one has just a margin on the bottom. I will show you in details how each one works. So I just want to show you a bit the idea behind what is boxes. So let's just close this. Make it to the right, and this one is bring it on the left. Let's delete this CSS. I will just include it within it, and let's see. All right, as you can see here on the screen, we have four different layers. We had the margin, we have the border, we have the padding, and we have the content. So screen off. Oh well, let's explain the different parts. Bring back the screen right now. Screen back. Good. Okay, the content is the content of the box where text and images are going to appear. The padding just above it clears an area around the content. The padding is transparent. The border, a border that goes around the padding and content. And above it, it's going to be the margin. It just clears an area outside of the border. The margin is transparent too, just like the padding. So you guys keep this picture always with you, so once you're designing, you won't freak out. Alright, right now let's just start styling. We have imported our style sheet and now let's just make it. So div, um, alright, width, and make it 300 pixels. Alright, well, let me just run it as always and make a div in here before I keep on styling it and write hello in it. As you can see, we have this div and it's written hello in it. If we just open the developer tools, I already told you just use Control Shift and I on Windows to bring it. As you can see, here is our div. It has this margin on the right. As you can see, it's just with this color. Once I hover on it, it just disappears. Okay, so let's keep styling. If we make the width 300 and save, nothing will happen. Alright, let me just do something. Background color and make it red. So you can see the difference. Let's remove this. As you can see, when we removed it before it existed, it was just from the start of the screen to the end of the screen. I mean the page in the browser. So once I do the width and give it a pixel like this, and it will just get smaller, as you can see in here. So the next thing is I want a border. You just use the border attribute in the border option in CSS and you will be good. So I want it to be 15 pixels and solid and green. As you can see, it's so big, so if you want to reduce the border, we can just make it 1 pixel, and as you still can see it in here. So let's just zoom in because my monitor is big and keep going. Alright, so you're wondering what's this 1 pixel solid and green? Well, that's the combination of three CSS of the three CSS border. Look, I just write border and like color and I make it green. So I have this part green. Let me just delete it now. Let me save and there is no difference. Now I will just do the border like not color, it's just nope. Where are you, border? Here it is, border style, and just give it solid. And one last one is border size. Alright, let's just try something else. Border, here it is, border width. So it will be just 1 pixel. Let's just delete all of these and save. As you can see, there is no difference. So what was happening? In this border, we just specified 3 CSSs. The first one is the border color, which we have written green in it. The second one is the border style. We have made solid in here. And the third one is the border width, where we have made just 1 pixel in it. So right now you can see what's the border all about. Well, let's just jump to the padding and give it 50 pixels. As you can see, the padding is pretty big. So right now you won't see the padding and I will show you this. Padding, well, I already told you that the padding is transparent so we can't see it. But all you have to know is, I can show it to you using the browser. Just look at it. If you just go in this one on the right in Google, we can see the margin, how it's doing. we can see the border, and our border is pretty small, so let me just get it bigger, make it 15 like it was before. Save. Alright, select this one and the border. Okay, so something is wrong. Did I save? Yeah, I saved. So what's wrong now? It's supposed to be 15 pixels. Let's just remove the padding. And it's still not 15 pixel. Alright, so yes, I've got it. So we have our border in here, and we have our border size down here. So when we just specify it in here, it will be 15, but once it just comes to this, it will just override it and becomes 1 again. So let me delete those extra lines that I have written to explain and show you. So here is the outcome. If we just click on it, as you can see, the padding, as you can see, I'm just putting my mouse on the border, so you can see it's highlighted. It's in like green and yellow, and that's the margin, but you can't really see the padding. You just can like feel it. Let me show you. Let's just do padding 15 pixels. So the padding is here, it's transparent, so let me try to show it to you again. And like here, as you can see it, here is the padding. It's really highlighted. The padding contains nothing, no information, and it's just used to style like the margin and the border. So that's it for the padding and border and margin. So right now let's just jump into the width and the height. So let me just, I told you once you change the width, let me just bring it back to 100. Well, good. If I just mess around with these, make it 100, all of a sudden it will get smaller. We have also the height. Let's just make it 100 pixels too. Save. As you can see, it's got more height. It became a square since the height is equal to the width. Here we have a square. Alright. So you guys, this was it for uh, the CSS boxes. I can just give you another and like just write hello world, and I will show you how the margin will be used. So let's just make margin bottom and give it 10 pixels. As you can see, it has margin bottom of 10 pixels. So right now, if I add one more, it will apply to all of my divs. They seem too much on the side, so I will try to move them on the right a little. So let's just do margin left, and let's just use 5 pixels. As you can see, they moved away from the left. So if I try to make it 50 and save, as you can see, 50 pixels right, and it's good. So that's it for CSS boxes. Let's just jump to the next. Alright, you guys, so right now we are going to talk about text styling. So let's just have a style in here, style, and have some text down below, h1, and let's have it CSS Crash Course. Save. We have it displayed in here. Let's have another p lorem, and lorem can give you as many words as you want to. So we have this lorem. some random text, and let's try showing you how do we style the text. So let's start with the first one, which is the color. So you can just have like select which tags you want, h1, give it color, and I want, as you can see, thanks to the CSS extension, I can have so many options to choose from. And these are the ones mostly used, so I suggest you use it, not trying to memorize everything. And I want the p tag to have a color of color. I want it to be some, let's just take light blue. Nope, it's a little bit transparent, so let's try olive. It's good, only that I don't like it. Let's just try this one. That's good. Well, so that's the first thing of the colors. You can use the RGB or the RGBA or the HSL. You can choose whatever you want, so you're free to do it. I told you how to find it in Google. Just write like RGB, and I don't know, somewhere you will have, yes, that's it. You will have some RGB stuff. There are multiple websites that has this for free. So the next thing we are going to see is text alignment. So, well, text align, and let's give it to the center. Save and see what will happen. The text has automatically aligned to the center of the page. So if I make it bigger, it will still be on the center. Once I make it smaller, it's still the same. So we have some other options too. We can like show you like left. We can make it right. For me, I'd like to keep it on the center. And there's something called text minus decoration. If I want to have a cross line, yes, that's line through. As you can see, I can have some decoration. I can also have underline too. I can have wavy. Yes, it will have some kind of wavy appearance. I can have so much more. You can just modify it. If you want to have none, you can just choose none. I mostly choose none for the A tag. Let's just have it as link. Make here a new A tag selector, and text decoration as none. As you can see, we have an underline. Once we press OK, we save, it will just be removed. So if you want to remove some decoration, just make it to none. So alright, so right now we are going to see some text transformations. Let's do it. Well, this one, let's just do text align left and text decoration. Let's have it like line through, and this one I want to have underline. Save. So far so good. Right now let's just see the next thing, which is text transform. As you can see, we have the option to transform our text. So if I want to it won't work if it's capitalized, so let me just write it in lowercase so you can see the difference. As you can see, it's in lowercase. let's just go in here and do capitalize, save. You can see it will capitalize every certain letter of the words. If I do something else like delete lowercase, it will make everything lowercase. If I make the uppercase, everything will turn into an uppercase. And as you can see, we have the options in here. If I choose none, nothing will happen. Just to go seek what each one does if you want any of these ones left. So I have to finish the indentation. Let's just leave it as capitalized. It's good. Good. And this one, no, capitalized won't be a good idea. Next one is text indent. Let's have it like as 1 centimeter. Well, text indent we don't use really with the titles, we used with the text itself. So let's just get to it. Text indent. Let's have it in pixels or in rem. Make it 2 rem. So you can see we have some free space as an indent for our text. And let's try the letter spacing. Let's make it like 5 pixels. As you can see, we have space between our letters. It won't be interpreted as a character or space. It will be interpreted as distance and as no value. That's the spacing between letters. And let's have the line height. And I want to do it in Europe. As you can see, this one is the distance the letter spacing is the distance horizontally like this, but line height is the distance vertically. Let me just remove this link, it's annoying me. Save. Good. As you can see, if you just want to style your text or your letters or something like this, you just can use these. There is something also called text direction, I suppose. Nope, they removed it. There is one last thing, and I usually also use it on titles, text, shadow. I want as we have 3 parameters to pass. The first parameter is the horizontal distance, so I want to be horizontally 5 pixels. And the second is vertically. I want 5 pixels as well. These 5 pixels horizontally and vertically is the distance from this text and its shadow. And after this, we're just going to have the color. Let's like make it black. And as you can see, like this is black, but for a case like this, you don't want to use black. You want to use the RGBA. Choose the red. Like if you want to choose the black 256, 256, 256, but this one you must have some low opacity, so it will just be seen as a shadow, not like something creepy. Okay, so 256 and everything like this is the white color, that's why we have nothing. Let me just make everything to 0. Save. As you can see, we have it in here. Let's make 0.4. And I have some kind of cool shadow. I usually like, let's just fix it like this. Let's make it smaller, like 3 horizontally. Good. And like 3 from here too. That's better. And sometimes I just use 1. I just use bigger value so you can see it. 1 or 2 will work. See, that's good. So let's have one more. The last one is word spacing. I usually used in the text as well. Let's just remove the line height and the text indent and save. Good. Let's just go for word spacing. Let's have like 5 pixels. Nope, don't close. Save, and as you can see, the word spacing is the distance between each word, which is the length of the space between each word. Its width, it will be changed to this value. I believe that it's usually like 2 or 3 pixels. If we just do 2, you won't see any difference. Nope, let's just use 1. Yes, let's use 0. Oh, actually it's 0, but this one will increase its width. So that's it for text. Okay, you guys, so right now we are going to talk about the CSS list. So let's just make some 2 lists. Let's make first the unorganized list and have li hello and another li or yeah, and a last li another hello. And down here let's just make an order list. I hello li world li that's my name, so let me just change this one to my name too. Okay, as you can see, we have the unordered list and the ordered list, so let's just get into the styling. So let's just do the UL, and so first let's just list style. As you can see, here we have the unorganized list, which is the first one, which is this one. And we want the style to be a square, so let's just hit save and see that these transformed into a square. As you can see, before it was like this, and when we add this, it became like this. You have so many options in here. You have upper alpha, you have upper Latin. Alright, so type upper Latin. You can have upper Roman too, like in here. Save. As you can see, we have the Roman numbers. The same thing can be applied on the organized list too, well, because they are all lists and they can be modified. So only that I want to add a list style. I want this list style image, and I want an URL. So let me just go to Google, grab something. Let's just grab. Okay, let's go for Husky. I love Huskies. I love this picture too. Let's just copy, open it in a new link. Oh, come on. Open image in a new tab. Good. That's what I want. Copy it, go back in here, save, and as you can see, we have part of the image for each li. So that's it for, it's like a background or something like this. Like let's try list back. Well, anyway, that's all about list styling, and let's move to the next thing. Bingo, how to stop it? Oh, here it is. Alright, you guys, so right now we are going to talk about alignment and floating. So first and foremost, let's have a div element, and have it a div like this, and give it a class, center, have some text inside of it. This div element is censored. Okay, is censored. I mean censored, just kidding. Alright, so let's just define the center selector. Okay, so first let's start with the background color. RGBA, give it 256 and 150 and 180 and 0.5. That's good. Actually, I just want this as 175. Yes, this gray, reddish. Give it 150. That's good. That's total gray. That's totally gray. So let's make it 0.4. Yes, that's better. Alright, so we are going to make it not position. We are going to give it a margin. Auto. So as you can see, nothing has changed. I forgot something I want to do. It was that I want to do. God, what was it again? I want to make this one not as a full line. I want to make it stop in here. Yes, I just remembered it. So display is a line block. Yes, that's good. And here we have the margin auto. We have, let's just remove this. It won't work like this. Let's have a width of 50%. As you can see, this one has been split into a width of 50%. If I make it bigger, it will keep on being centered. So what made this is the margin being auto, it will just calculate this automatically and this automatically, so they will be equal. And this one will fall right in the middle. Next, let's just give it a border. 3 pixels, solid green. I want it just as 1 pixel. That's good. And let's have a simple padding of 10 pixels. Alright, so that's how we center a div element. Next, we are going to how to center the text inside of it. As you can see, the distance from here to here is not the same distance from here to the end. So let's start by doing this, and let's just add text, align, center, save, and as you can see, we have it in the center. And next, we are going to text align. We are going to left and right align using the position absolute. So let's just make it absolute position absolute. Ah, yes, I forgot this. Okay, so since the position is absolute, these won't work. So let me just get rid of these, especially the margin auto only. The width is good, this is good, and this is also good. So I want to make it right 0, and we also have left 0, as you can see what's happening. So once I have written right, the right 0 is I'm trying to specify the distance between the right, the top, this right at the end, and the start of this one. I mean the end of it. So since it's 0, it will be just on the right, just too much on the right. If I just add like 15 pixels, it will be like 15 pixels away from here. I hope you get it. Let's just go for the left, save. As you can see right now too, we have 15 pixels away from the border. So that's it. Let's just right now try the top, and let's make it to 0. As you can see, we specified it as 0, so it's just stuck on the top border, and I can make it for the bottom too. And like this, it's positioned in the bottom. So we have seen how to left and right align, and that's how we just like aligned on the bottom of the page. It's not so very clear to you, so let me just reduce the page. Yes, that's it. As you can see, it starts at the end. Since it's absolute, let me just remove this absolute bad boy and see what will happen. If I remove the absolute, it will just be linked to its parent element, so it won't have to be on the sides, or it will just work on the sides. Well, if I just do right, and it won't, no, it won't work. It must be as an absolute position, so it's free and linked to nothing in the DOM, and it will go wherever we want it to go. Right now we are going to look at something different. So I want to make it centered vertically. So what will I do? I will just like make this one inside a bigger div element. Copy the closing tag and bring it to the end of it. So let's give it some style. Background color. That's good. Height is 700 pixels. So no, that's too big, so let me just make it 300, or instead 250. That's 25,000 and it's too much. That's good, alright. Let's just do like align items center. So this does nothing. Let's do padding 70. Padding. When you use the padding, it will be automatically centered, and I want to use something else. So if I try to add the text, let's just keep the text. Let's make this as a p tag. Alright, so horizontal. Okay, you guys, I gonna try the padding, and the padding should be done inside of this one, and I want to make it like 60 pixels, and like this you can center it wherever you want. So Just use the padding, and you want to make it at the bottom, just make all right, you want, yes, just use the padding bottom and give it 0 pixels. You want no padding at the bottom. If you want some padding at the bottom, give it like 50. I don't like using it like this. Let's try padding top and give it 50 pixels. The more you add, the further it will get from the top. If you want to get away from the left, use like padding left and give it 50 pixels as well. And just like this, you can just keep on going and do this. So that's how we like align and center stuff. We just use the height of this and tell it to go here and here. Use these four top, right, left, and bottom, and that's the positionment for now. Even in the padding, you can use the top as well, right as well, and also in the margin, it's same principle. So that's it for positioning and floating. So to the next one. Now let's talk about floating. Okay, well, let's just make the template in HTML. Okay, yeah, let's do a div and give it an img, which means we're going to have an image inside of the div. I'm going to seek an image, and as you always know me, I always choose a husky for the image. Let's just take this one. I'll open it in a new page. Yeah, copy the link and bring it to the source here in our HTML page. Okay, so yeah, the image looks pretty big and wide, so let's just customize it and give it less width. Okay, this is too small, and that's normal. That's good. Well, that's good. Let's give this div a border so we can see it, and makes 1 pixel. Solid dotted better, and like green. As you can see here, we have our div element with a border, which we have already seen. Let's change the display to an inline block, which means it will just take the block it needs and the space it needs. It won't take the whole block and line. And let's, below the image, give a lorem 50, which means 50 words. This is an emit abbreviation, so emit is already included in Visual Studio Code. You just have to write lorem 50 and you're good to go. So the image is like on the top left, and I want the text to be just beside it. I want it to be like on the right of it. So we're just gonna have to make it as a float and give it the left. As you can see in here, we have it fixed. We have the text with us, but the problem is that it's so stuck and so touching the image. It doesn't look pretty good. So let's just give it a margin for the image. And let's choose 8 pixels. Alright, that's good. Still, the image is looking pretty high, so I think that's good as margin. But as you can see, the image is pretty on a high position, so I want it to be lower, and I will so that the text will be just below it. There's no extra line, and it's the same thing we have once we set the flow to the right. It will like just be on the right, the same properties of the left, and if known, it will just go back to the default. Alright, so as you can see, let's just bring it back to the left. That's how I want it. Well, after this, I'm going to give the P a style, a float too, and make it float left. As you can see, this will just break it. Even if we set it to the right, it will just break the code. So here you will know when to use the floats. Use them only on divs or images or some stuff where it's going to be a CSS box model. Alright. Since it looks a little bit higher than we want it, I want to give it a distance from the top and make it autos. Well, that did nothing. Let's make 15 pixels. No difference. Alright, so 30 pixels. Nothing. Well, sometimes stuff just doesn't work, and let's just go and try something. Nope, let's just delete it. Let's try the margin. Let's do save. Oh no, there is a mistake. I want a padding. Let's try the padding and make it 15 pixels. That's good, but only that I wanted a padding from the top only. Good, that's how I want it. So with the padding it worked. So you guys, you just have to know what are these so if we what is this and if we add a little bit to the padding, we will just lose the other line. Let's just reduce to 25, and that's how I want it. So you guys, when you learn these stuff, you will just experiment with them, and if something works, you will just leave it. Let's make a border radius right now and make it 55 pixels. As you can see in the bottom it worked, but we still have a problem on the top. Let's just I want to be the same on the bottom and on the top as well. Let's just increase it. Alright, I want like 0 pixels. No, 0 pixels will just show them as it is, but it will show the radius as well. I want it to be 20 pixels. Nope, it didn't get to it yet. And yes, 30 pixels. It just looks like a police badge with a husky inside of it, and I really like this design. So, and the text beside it, they look pretty cool. So that's it for the floating, you guys. Let's get to the next thing. Alright, you guys, so right now we are going to talk about pseudo classes. Let's just save this file. Well, I think it's no longer in live mode. Yes, the server has been shut down. I forgot that I restarted my laptop, so alright, so we will have certain syntax. Well, it will be like this. The selector name and this and pseudo class. I mean this. Just remember this class, I won't delete it, I will just keep it in here. Although we have a warning like do not. Yes, that's an empty row set. So anyway, let's do it like color red. I'll keep having it, though it won't do anything. Well, so right now I am going to show you the anchor pseudo classes. So let's just try to have, I forgot to delete this too. Let's have an anchor tag and make it link. Okay, you can see that we have a link. As you can see, if the link is new, like this, hello, you can see that the link will be, you can see that the link is in blue. So once we click it, it will change in color. Since we have, let's just have a real link. Okay, that's a real link. Save. You see, once the link has been already visited, it will be like in this color in purple, but if it's not visited, it will be in blue. It will be always underlined. Once we hover over, it will change in color. So how do we do this? So we have a that's link, which is the base form. Let's have another a tag. I don't know, just some random name. Link 1. Yes, I forgot that they are not a block element, so let's break the line. As you can see, this link hasn't been visited yet, so once visited, but since this is not a real link, it won't be selected as already visited. So we have a link. So let's have the color. What? Save. You can see the link before it's clicked, we have the A 2 points link, and we can set it. Since it's still blue, we can just set the base colors of it. Okay, so let's just set this one. Since it's purple, I want to have it as green. Let's have A and visited. I always advise you guys to add some extensions that will help you. You can't code or memorize everything on your own. Color. As you can see, I've just changed it. So, as you can see, once we hover, the cursor will change. So, I want to have some extra stuff. And the mouse hover will go to A, have like this, and have cursor, and you can just change to whatever you want. Let's change it to crosshair. As you can see, that's the crosshair, but we usually want a pointer in this case, so just use the cursor pointer. And let's use the color blue. So once I hover, it's simply a blue color. Okay. I want this active and color blue violet. Okay, so once you click, it will change in color. That's the active. So active, it means a cursor click on it. That's the left cursor click. Let's try the right. Same thing. Left cursor click or right cursor clicks will give you the same results. So alright, so you have the link, which is this, the visited ones you have visited. That's why do you want to display. The hover ones, the mouse pass over it, and the active ones you click with one of the two mouse buttons. Alright, so that's good for this type. Alright, now I want to jump for something else. I don't want these charts. There is, I will show you right now the before and after the before and after pseudo classes and expand them. So, well, okay, you guys. So right now we are going to see how do we make a background image in CSS. So let's just type style and make the background image for this body. Well, let's just have background. Okay, let's have the body tag and do background. And put inside of the URL the link of this image. As always, and if you have seen this video, you know what I've just ticked Google inside of Google. And if you have seen this tutorial from the beginning until now, you know what I'm going to type for, to look for. Another husky. Okay, no need to fix it. Alright, so this time I like this one. Okay, come on. That's good. And we open it in a new tab, copy the link for it, and paste it right into here. Save and go back. As you can see, we have the husky as a background image. Well, as you can see, it's so much repeated a lot, and that's some trouble we've got to fix too. I just want one big husky as a background and not four. Okay, so sorry, I've closed it. Next on to the right. So that's the first thing to learn, how to make a background image. I will learn you how to make it just one later. So let's just keep going for it. And alright, so background, repeat, and make it none. Alright, so I can see that nothing is changing. Alright, so let me just try something else. Yes, Adobe Premiere is opening. It's finished installing. That's on me. Background. Okay, background, repeat, size, origin. Okay, I can't find, so I will Google it. Background, repeat, CSS. As you can see, guys, even if I'm tutoring you, I sometimes forget some stuff and I end up looking for it. And like this, I will just open it. Yeah, background, repeat. Okay, so that's it. It's no repeat. It was not none. So like this we have it, and I want to make it background width. Okay, later Adobe background, and yes, size automatic. That's bad. 100%. Okay, that's good. I have a full husky picture inside of my web page. Okay, you guys, so right now you know how to use CSS and all of this. I will drop a course later about the Flexbox and the grid, because it's part of CSS. And finally, I will drop a video making a portfolio or simple website. In any case, it will be like a simple project, so you can put in your portfolio and people can see it. Well, that was it for CSS, and I'm sorry for the last sequence where the voice was really bad. I had problems with the microphone, and this was, guys, outro.